the mark that I'm going to leave on this earth? What is it that I want to portray to humankind and to creation? And as I reflected, I thought, yes, I'm a mother. You know, I want to be a good mother. I'm a nurse. I want to be the best nurse I can be. I'm a wife. I want to be the best wife I can be. But that's not the essence of me. Those are all things. The essence of me is love. What do I want when I leave this earth? What do I want to leave here? And what I want to leave here is love. I want every single person that I touch to know that they were loved fully and unconditionally by me. And I thought about that as a worldwide, as a universal truth. And as I thought, if every single person in the world would do that same thing, demonstrate, create, and live in love, then there wouldn't be shootings like in Florida. There wouldn't be a need for gun control. There wouldn't be a need for Korea thing, whatever. There wouldn't be a need for that. I don't watch the news, so I'm trying to watch it more, so I'm up on current events. But anyway, there wouldn't be a need for any of that, right? Because if every single person only loved, then there would be no opposite of that. There would be no fear, there would be no hate, there would be nothing but love. So how do we accomplish that? I know that I don't do it perfectly. So what I did, since I'm a truth student, is looked into what Unity says about love and what other religions say about love, so I could kind of dive in a little bit to see what others think love is. Love is an emotion, but can we really describe it? We know how it feels, but it's indescribable, just like God. You know, you can't describe what love is. What I found is that all the world's great religions use the word God and love synonymously. The Shinto religion says that love is the representative of the Lord. Hinduism says one can best worship the Lord through love. The Jewish faith says, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart and with all thy soul and with all thy might," Deuteronomy 6:5, "and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself," Leviticus 19:18. Christianity puts it simply, God is love, 1 John 4:16. What I think the result of all of these religions coming together is that people are realizing what the divine essence, what their divine essence is. That God is love, and that is the key to the universe. That is the key to binding us all together. That is the key to all of creation. Without love, there would be nothing. Do you agree? I think so. In the Revealing Word, Charles Fillmore, our co-founder, defines love as the pure essence of being that binds together the whole human family. Of all the attributes of God, love is undoubtedly the most beautiful. In divine mind, love is the power that joins and binds in divine harmony the universe and everything in it, the great harmonizing principle known to man. So we're all seeking love. We're all seeking to be love. We need love. Love is essential to all of us. And love's more than longing, wanting, or needing. Divine love is love given freely, unconditionally. Charles Fillmore describes divine love as impersonal. It loves for the sake of loving. It's not concerned with what or who it loves, nor with love in return. Like the sun, its joy is in the shining forth of nature. So love is who we are. Call it spirit, call it consciousness, call it God. Love is our essence. Love is our makeup. When we demonstrate and create love, then love comes back to us. It's our true nature. The capacity to love is man's greatest advance in spiritual evolution. Jesus lived more than 2,000 years ago, and he, in unity, we believe Jesus is our way shower. Jesus epitomized love. People were drawn to him. In his day, 2,000 years ago, God was a punishing God, and you had to please God. And Jesus came with a new thought. God was love. And people came from all over to hear Jesus' teachings. They didn't come for free fish sandwiches and wine. They came to hear what Jesus wanted to say. Fillmore says, Jesus came proclaiming the spiritual interrelationship of the human family. Jesus brought a deeper awareness of the mystical truth that we are one with spirit. Life is revealing itself through us to us. The kingdom of heaven is not up in the sky somewhere. It is within each of us. Love is a basic human need. Are you guys willing to love? Yes? Are you willing to love yourself? Are you willing to love each other and the world? Yes? Okay. Well, I invite you to repeat after me. I am love. I am lovable. I am loving. I am loved. How does that feel? Yeah. Okay, let's say it with more conviction this time. Okay, let's step it up a little bit. I am love. I am lovable. I am loving. And I am loved. Okay? Now let's turn to our neighbor.
Wait a minute. Do we have confession after this?
There's no confession in unity. Only love. Okay. All right. Decide who's going to be number one and who's going to be number two, so we're respectful. Okay. Number one. Say to number two, which is really number 1, 2. You are love. You are loving. You are lovable. You are loved. Okay, now to your partner. You are love. You are lovable. You are loving. You are loved. Wow, that was good. I love you guys. Truly, I do. I love you, and I can feel the love. It feels so good. Wow, good job. Good job. This is a loving community. You want to do the happy dance? Okay. We are love. We're a loving community. So it's pretty easy to do it in this arena, but how do we take it outside of here? You know, how do we bring love when in traffic? We experienced that this morning, didn't we, honey? And I was in the love zone. I wouldn't let anything in. I was like, woo, no, baby, we're not going there. Well, the key to love is love one another as you love yourself. So a good starting point is to love yourself. That's what Jesus tells us. Sometimes we go straight to that love one another part. I know in my past life, before I found unity, my list of people to love were all-inclusive, but I wasn't on the list. So how can I love each other fully when I didn't even know that it was okay to love myself? So, one of the things that Don Miguel Ruiz, which we talked about today and we talked about last week, said in the book, The Mastery of Love, we teach children how to read, how to behave, and how to dream. We domesticate humans the same way we domesticate animals, with reward and punishment. We are afraid to be punished, but later we're afraid of not getting the reward of not being good enough for mom and dad, siblings, or teachers. So think about what you've been told. Are you on the list? If not, are you willing to put yourself on the list? And what can you do to love yourself? It's really important to think about the words that you tell yourself, or all those old hamster cage ideas that are going through your head. One of the things that I found in my research was that Dr. Masaru Emoto performed a study on the physical effects of water. You guys know this. The crystalline properties of water. And he found that when you speak kind, loving, appreciative thoughts, the water crystals turn to these beautiful snowflake shapes. Just by speaking kind, loving thoughts, the energy of that kindness turns to a beautiful snowflake. So what do you think happens if our body is 70% water and the earth is 70% water? What do you think could happen if we speak words of love and kindness and appreciation? We're going to all turn into beautiful snowflakes. Unique, unrepeatable expressions of God. Aren't snowflakes unique, unrepeatable expressions of God? Can you imagine being that love, that unique, unrepeatable expression of God? Wow, that's what I want. That's definitely what I want. Lost my train of thought. Okay, so other ways that we can love ourselves. We talked last month about denials and affirmations. I know that when I first got into Unity, I skipped right over the denials because it sounded negative. But denials are important to clear space for those loving thoughts to come in. You got to get all that ugliness out in order for love to come in. Emily Cady was one of the founders of New Thought, and she said denials bring freedom from bondage, and happiness comes when we can effectually deny the power of anything to touch or trouble us. She goes on to say, no person or thing in the universe, no chain of circumstances can by any possibility interpose itself between you and all joy, all good. Katie gives an example of a denial in her book, Lessons in Truth. There is nothing in all the universe for me to fear, for greater is he that is within me than he that is within the world. God is good, right? So I invite you to clear those thoughts, clear those negative energy thoughts, the domestication that you received as a young child from people that you loved and admired. Don't hold resentments or negativism toward them. They all did the best that they could, and they didn't know any better. But today we know better. So you know better, you do better, right? Clear all that and allow truth to come in. Replace it with an affirmation, one like we used a few minutes ago. I am love. I am lovable. I am loving. I am loved. You can look at yourself in the mirror. Sometimes I like to look at myself when I'm driving. I am loved. I am lovable. I am loving. I am loved. Look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself that until you actually believe it. Let's see, where are we? Sorry, guys. Ernest Holmes says, love is the self-givingness of spirit into creation. So God is love. We are love. We can love one another. One of the fastest ways to spread love and to feel love is to stop judging. When we judge, we block love from ourselves. It's kind of like a force field of non-love. When we love, we receive love. So one of the things that I asked in class was, how do I stop judging? How do I become more accepting of others? And one of my fellow truth students said to me, Sandra, you don't have to do that. All you have to do is love, and you will attract love. Right now, you're thinking about how can I do better when this negative thing happens. So you're attracting those negative things to you. All you have to do is let go and love will come back to you. And those negative circumstances and negative people you won't be attracted to, so you won't have to change how you think or what you do because you won't have it in your life anymore. That made a lot of sense to me. I've been trying it, and so far it's worked, but, I definitely don't do it perfectly, so I might need some reminders from you guys if you see me not in a loving situation. Speaking of the law of attraction, Paul Hasselbeck, he's one of our Unity New Thought teachers. He's a minister that wrote the metaphysics book that Patrick and I are studying in our class. He says that thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. He says to be vigilant about what you're desiring, wanting, needing, or requiring in the moment, because the ability of love is activated and it will harmonize and unify to match whatever you're desiring, wanting, and needing. So therefore, if you want more love, then ask for love. If you want to figure out how to deal with criticism, then you're probably going to get a lot of criticism, and you might get that lesson sooner rather than later, and it might be a hard lesson. I'd like to close with an affirmation from Reverend Linda Martley Winsett, the director of Silent Unity. And I did change her word of light to love. The love of the world shines within me, outside me, all around me. Looking to love, I am led by love. I reflect love in my innermost thoughts as well as my outermost actions. Every day, every good comes my way. The love that I am keeps me from being caught up in superficial or material matters. I am free from being out of rhythm with my divine identity. From the one source comes the vision of love, the energy to bring forth the vision of love, and the harmony with this manifested vision of love with all of creation. This is the foundation from which I take my next step. This is the foundation in which we can take our next step. God is love. We are love. I invite you to let your loving light shine, to go forth and love without ceasing, to love unconditionally, to love yourself. Together, we can be the catalyst to change the world. Together, we can be love. Thank you. Namaste on your loving journey.